Hey Vibe Tribe, good morning. It's Kim and welcome to my country kitchen, the one I grew up in actually. It almost looks identical to what it did when I was a kid. We live at my grandparents' house, so just a little explanation of my very retro kitchen that I love. So I wanted to hop on here today and shake it up a little bit with you. Talk about Shakeology a little bit and how I mix mine up. If you know my story at all, you know that I started my journey with Shakeology. I didn't work out. I wasn't really even into fitness because I felt miserable all the time. So I started with just replacing my breakfast with Shakeology and drinking water and starting to educate myself on what I should be eating and cleaning up my nutrition a little bit. And it was exactly what my body needed. So it is near and dear to my heart. I've been drinking it for actually 5 years in October. I've been a coach almost 5 years here in a couple weeks. And it's changed my health. It's changed my daughter's health, my mom's health. So I can see it in action in my family and friends' lives, which is pretty amazing. So I wanted to show you what I add to my Shakeology, some of my favorite add-ins, and kind of how I mix it up to get the flavor that I like. So first of all, I like a milkshake consistency, and I have two favorites. Actually, I'm gonna pour it into these containers, if you can see it from there. But I almost always have vegan latte on hand. The white bag is the vegan flavor, and then the black bag is the whey flavor, and this is regular chocolate. This is what I started out as, drank it actually for a couple years before the vegan latte came out, and I fell in love with the vegan latte. So here's what the bags look like if you are not a Shakeology drinker. If you're not, you should be. And the one thing that I start with is I add 8 ounces of water to mine. Now I have this new fancy Black Friday Ninja, so it's much bigger than what I'm used to. I had the single serve blender before, and yes, I am a blender girl. I prefer it blended. I like the consistency of it blended. So I add about 8 ounces, about a cup of water, and then I add about a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk. Nothing fancy, it just gives me the consistency I like. You don't have to use almond milk if you're not a milk drinker. If you are a milk drinker, give it a try, see if you like it. Good morning, babe. And my daughter is just now waking up. So those are the two liquids, and again, I prefer to have about a cup and a half of liquid. You may like a cup, you may like even more than a cup and a half, so you have to play around with it. If it's too thick, add more liquid. If it's not thick enough, take some out, okay? So liquid is key. Then I add typically 3 or 4 ice cubes, and I just have the old-fashioned ice cube trays now since we live out here in the farm, on the farm, and I usually just grab them out of my water cup actually because I already have that ready to go in the morning. So 3 or 4 ice cubes, and again, play around. You might want more ice cubes, you might want less, and you can, when I travel, I just take a shaker cup with me and I just shake it with a cup of water and some, the nice shaved ice at hotels. Obviously, it's not as good as a blended up shake, but it totally works, and I make sure I don't miss it every day. So adding my ice, the next thing I add is Missy Wedge here in the group actually made me aware of this. So I buy this big container of baby spinach. Sometimes I get the spring mix, but I cannot just put kale in my shake. It makes it taste funny. So I grab those, and then I put them in a gallon bag, and I freeze it and I crunch it up really small. So it's cheaper than buying the frozen spinach. I'm just doing it myself. And I add like a handful of frozen spinach. You don't even know what's in there. It's another way, just a sec, babe. It's another way to get in a veggie because I'm not a big veggie eater. So, and then I just throw that back in the freezer. The other thing I have, so if I run out of spinach, I do have the Shakeology Power Greens, but I will say Power Greens are not my favorite. I can only use a scoop of this. It's a pretty big scooper. If I use 2, like it calls for, it changes the flavor of my Shakeology, and I'm not all about that. But if I get desperate, I can add a scoop of Power Greens, and it's basically just a whole bunch of amazing greens ground up into powder. And sometimes I use this in my eggs as well, so if I run out of spinach, I always have this on hand just in case, so I only order it a couple times a year. The other thing I have is the Focused Energy. Now, I typically only use Focused Energy Boost in the winter when I'm really, really, really draggy and tired. And basically, it's filled with a bunch of superfood mushrooms. So I researched it, and that is what helps with energy. So it's this little scooper, and I do add a scoop of this every day in the winter. As soon as the weather starts to change, I get this on order, and it just helps me. It doesn't give you that boost like Energize. It helps me sustain my energy through the day. I'm able to stay awake a little longer. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird, but it just helps with my energy level. Okay, so I put that in there. I always add a banana. I'm a banana girl, and I have frozen banana in the freezer for when I run out, but I prefer an actual ripe banana. Yes, I use the whole thing. Sometimes I eat part of it and throw the rest in, but it's a banana. So the whole like carbs in a banana, I'm not worried about carbs in a banana. I'm throwing the banana in my shake. I like how creamy it makes it. I do try not to get the ginormous bananas. If I do, I'll eat a piece of it instead. And then I have a couple options that I keep on hand. So I have a natural creamy peanut butter to add a teaspoon of to my shake, or a almond butter, which is what I'm trying right now. Another friend of mine said she likes the almond butter. I will say I prefer the peanut butter, but I'm using the almond butter up. So I put a scoop of that in there. And this is usually when I'm making it a meal. If I'm not making it a meal, I don't add all of these extra calories. The other thing you can do, always lift the spoon, is you can use powdered peanut butter. Let me know if you prefer that. It's way less calories. You can get it at Walmart. But to me, I don't really taste it's in there. So I usually use this when I add Shakeology to Greek yogurt. That's another thing I like to do in the evenings, is just a couple scoops of Greek yogurt. I'll add some powdered peanut butter, and I'll add my Shakeology and some honey and mix it up. So yummy. So it's another way to have your Shakeology. Yeah, you can paint. Another thing I like to keep is cinnamon. Sometimes I'll add a dash of cinnamon to it. I've got my honey. And then I do have a few other things that I add. I don't like to take pills. I'm happy to be medication free. But when I'm feeling like my immune system is down, I add some echinacea, just a vitamin. I split open the capsule, put it in my shake. And when there are days when there's no sun, I add vitamin K2 and D3, just something I read online to help with the lack of sunshine. So if you live in the Midwest, it's another option. So again, I don't use these every day. I just use them when I need it. And in the winter, when I tend to feel like my immune system's down, when everyone's getting sick, I add those in just kind of as a precautionary measure. So then I add in my scoop of Shakeology. I'm going to go with regular chocolate today. Again, it really just depends on what you like. I'm not someone that eats vegan, but I prefer the vegan formula of the latte. I think it's sweeter. I actually think it's the sweetest formula that we have, just my preference. But I really like the regular chocolate, and it's probably the one most of my clients drink. So comment below, what flavor do you drink? There are only 2 flavors that I don't like at all, to be honest. I don't like greenberry at all, and that was the very first flavor. And I don't prefer the regular latte. Ugh, it's just not my thing. But I also love tropical vegan strawberry because it has a hint of banana flavor to it. So I get that on occasion. The regular strawberry's okay. So I blend it up in my blender. I have the consistency of a milkshake. So when I pour it out, I know if it's the right consistency. If it's too thick, I put it back in and I add a little bit more water. So I challenge you to try out some different things. Comment below with what you drink. What's your favorite recipe for your Shakeology? This recipe for me with a banana and peanut butter or almond butter is the same no matter really what flavor I have, even strawberry, because then the strawberry tastes kind of like a banana split with the peanut butter and the banana in it. So let us know what your favorite flavor is, what your favorite add-ins are that you use on it every day. That is your call to action today. Now, if you don't drink Shakeology, I'm going to do this to you. If you have any sort of issue with your health, lack of energy, digestion issues, immune system issues, I mean, everybody should be drinking this. It's flavored with stevia leaf extract. So if you're thinking, but I have a cheaper shake that I drink at home, it's cheaper for a reason, and I challenge you to research the ingredients on your bag or on your container of whatever it is you're choosing to have, and just educate yourself. Of course, this is what works best for me, and I've researched every ingredient in it. There isn't anything else out there that has all of these superfoods, including the vitamins, and it gives you that dose of protein. A lot of things out there just give you protein. Some things out there just give you vitamins. You can't get it all together. And if you can, it's flavored with something like artificial sweeteners like sucralose. Beware of sucralose. You don't want to have sucralose in something that you eat or drink every single day. So if there's something you're having every day or most days, make sure you look at the label, because if your weight is not going where you want it to go, it could be because of those artificial sweeteners. You might as well, I had someone tell me, my natural healer at one point, Kim, if you're gonna have that, you might as well just drink pop, because it's the same thing that's in pop. And I'm like, no, I finally got off my pop situation. I'm not gonna go back to that. So if you don't drink Shakeology, I challenge you to think about why you don't. I'm gonna pop a couple videos down here in the comments for you to watch, just educate yourself on. Just make sure you're aware of the benefits. Maybe you're just not able to financially figure it out right now. I understand that. We had to move our budget around. We had to stop eating out so much. We had to get rid of the pop and junk in our house in order to fit that in. And you can always get the discount as a coach, right? And you don't have to sell anything. So that's another option if you want to get that 25% discount, which on this team we highly encourage, because we like you to save money. You don't have to sell anything, but that's another option. But if you choose not to drink it for whatever reason, research it a little bit. That's your call to action today. And then comment with what you have on a daily basis. Maybe your normal is to have scrambled eggs with some spinach in it. Or what is it that you tend to have most days? If you follow 2B Mindset, Alana says there's huge power in having a consistent breakfast. So maybe your consistent breakfast is Shakeology, and that's just what your body is used to waking up to every day. Maybe it's something else. So let us know your recipe for Shakeology if you're drinking it. I hope you are every single day. If you ask my mom, she drank it every other day for about 2 years and really wasn't getting anywhere. And when I challenged her to start drinking it every single day, we moved around her budget, we made it work for her. It's worth every penny to her now, because she's dropped 30 pounds, over 30 pounds now, in less than 3 months. So she understands it now. That's what her body needs every single day, and I'm just so stinking proud of her. So I hope these help. I'm excited to see your recipes, and remember to fill out for the prize post. Make sure you fill out your points for the week, because Nikki and I love to give prizes away. I know Nikki's been giving most of them away. I want to help her out with that too. We love to give prizes away to you guys. So thank you for commenting on the 5 a.m. post and the 7 p.m. post, giving love to each other, and then checking out these coach videos for information as well. And those are all going to give you points for the prize drawing. Happy Saturday!